Thank you so much for everyone that is present. And I'll say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as you might be watching this as a recording. For those that don't know me, my name is Patricia. I'm living currently in Portugal, and I've met Zinzino and this concept nearly 5 years ago. And I'm here today with you because it did have a huge impact in my life, in my health, and my professional life. And that's a little bit of what I want to share with you tonight. So if you're here, it's because you have most likely an interest in finding out what Zinzino is all about and how it is making an impact. And let's see, if you have any questions, please put it on the chat. If I don't have an opportunity to answer here, most likely the person that invited you will be very happy then to share and answer to any of your questions. So if I start by sharing a little bit about me and how I've met Zinzino. So it was at a point in my life that I was living in England. I lived there for 20 years and I was an ops manager. So I was loving what I was doing, but I was always on the road. I would leave the house around 7 o'clock in the morning and I would arrive 7, 8 in the evening, then still go to the computer and then wake up the next day and do it again. So when you're in that rat race, isn't it? That rat wheel, you love it. I loved what I was doing. I felt that I was having an impact on the people that I was working with because I was working with teams, helping them going through tough times. But then it came to a point that, is this the life that I want to live for the rest of my life? Do I have time for myself? No. Do I have time for the things that I like, that I would like to be involved? Not really. Can I go on the holidays when I want? Not really again. So, and that was the moment that I was in. And at the same time, I started having some health issues and I was looking into them. Mine was gut and I was not having answers. And then suddenly someone just asked, why don't you listen to this concept? Why don't you listen to this test-based nutrition? So I welcome you here because you're most likely in the same stage that I was. And let's see if what I saw, you can see as well, and the potential and the impact that this is having in people's lives. And when we look into Zinzino, it is the market leader in test-based nutrition. It is a health and wellness company from Scandinavia, from Sweden, actually. And when you look into how established it is 20 years in the market. So it's not a startup. They know what they're doing already. And they are publicly traded. So you can look into the finances. You can see that. And by all means, the Q3 has been just released. So I would encourage you to go and read it and see really the performance that the company is having. We are as well registered with NASDAQ. So if you want, you can buy our stocks. So you can be a shareholder of the company. And that's what most people that work in partnership with Zinzino, they end up doing. So we own a bit of the company. So we have an invested interest. And when we're going to look into the business model that we're going to use, and when you think that, okay, am I going to go local? Am I going to go, how can I expand? Look at Zinzino, it's a global company. We can deliver to over 100 countries. And at the same time, it has a sense of mission. We are on a mission. And alongside with that, we help a foundation, Zinzino Foundation, with children in India. So when you look in terms of the fundamentals of a business, it's all here. And when you look into the growth, you can't complain, you can't ask for more. It's just double-digit growth, my apologies, over since it started, and especially since COVID. And that's what you're looking for when you're thinking partnering with a company to see if it's financially strong. And apart from, again, I encourage you to look into the financial reports, but you can see that. Look at the stocks. And when we look into where the market that we are implemented and what is the vision of, it's going from guest-based to test-based. And when you see that, you can agree with me that is becoming a mega trend, because how many people do we know that are actually already thinking in supplementation, or that are already taking supplementation, or that are taking some sort of specialized diet. In nowadays, many, many people. But the question is, in every single one of those people's minds is what I'm doing really working for me? And that's when then test base is making a difference, because it can show them if actually is actually making an impact or not. So you can see if the investment that you're doing is actually worthwhile. Because the question is always more and more, health is important than ever, and is as important now as it is in 10 years, in 15 years, in 50 years from now. Because when you look around, we know that things are not getting better. And when we look into the entities, the official entities, you can hear inflammation is the greatest threat to human health. And even just on normal magazines that people identify themselves with, you can see that, okay, anti-inflammation, it's already in the air. People are looking into what they can do more and better. And when we look into chronic inflammation, it is known as the silent killer, as the secret killer. And for some people, not so silent, but we don't know how to read it. And when we go to official entities again, you can see that they say chronic inflammation is the base, is the open door to the most of the conditions that we have in our days. Wouldn't it be great that then if we get rid of it, then the impact that it will have on the rest? And that's what we can support people with. Because when we look into what actually chronic inflammation is, it's all down to that cell. It's all down how to that cell membrane is. All down to if it's rigid or not. Because we really want it to be flexible. And it's then down to a relationship between two fatty acids, an omega-6 and an omega-3. The omega-3 being the anti-inflammation marker, the omega-6 being the inflammation marker. And we need it to be like that, like a perfect boxer that is just there, ready for everything. But what we see today, from what you've saw before, is that we have more of that pro-inflammation and not much of the omega-3, the anti-inflammation. And then we are totally exposed, putting then our cell membranes rigid. And that's then the inflammation. So we need that 3-to-1, that perfect balance. And then so we have a normal cell membrane, healthy cell, healthy body. And how we know that? By testing. And that's what Enzino offers. So we can offer the possibility for people to know exactly how they are on a cellular level with the balance test, the vitamin D levels that we know that most of us are deficient, how we are in terms of our sugar levels with the HbA1c test, and as well the latest, the fantastic gut health test to know how the microbiota that we have in our gut is actually impacting our immune system and our health. So this is what we offer. This is what all of us can offer to the people around us that we love and like, so that to give them options to know how they are. And the beauty of this is that as Enzino, we partner with just one of the best labs in the world from Oslo in Norway that is called Vita's Analytical Service. As you can see, it has other official partners like Harvard University, like the World Health Organization, or even the Olympic Committee. So it's a third party. It is recognized. It is its own entity. And they do what they do best. So they analyze the blood spot test that we send them, and which goes anonymous, by the way, and then the test results are released. And these are the number of tests that they've conducted so far. Look at that, nearly 1.6 million tests. So that's the validity of the results that we have. And I suspect that if this doesn't come with as a surprise to you, that 97% failed that test. So on that relation between that omega-6 and omega-3, they failed. So they had high ratios. They were above the 3-to-1. But what I was surprised when I heard this 4.5 years ago was that 20% of those people already consuming omega-3. And in my head was, okay, so we don't have enough fish in the ocean. And on top of that, most of us don't like fish. I love it, but most people don't like it. And supplementation then is not working. So what is then the solution? How can we go around this? And that's again where Enzino then makes a difference. So their scientific advisory boards, then two main scientists there, they designed the balance oil. which makes the difference. And they looked into the science behind that, why fish works and fish oil does not work. And they figure out that it's not just about the omega-3, it's all about the natural protection that it has, the polyphenol. And they create this formulation. So there's little videos that show all of this. So again, we don't need to be scientists. We don't need to be health professionals. We just need to be eager to help people around us and help ourselves. So this formulation specifically, it is then the game changer. That's what's making the difference. And it comes with all sorts of certifications. In nowadays, we know how important this is. It makes that all that product then is reliable, and you can guarantee what actually it is inside the bottle. It is what's in the product or all the other products that we have. And when you look into who needs, we all have cells. We are all made of cells. So we all need this since we are born until our last days. Because how can we expect that a cell functions without the essential nutrients that make that cell function properly? So with time, then things don't go so well, isn't it? So this is how important, or the impact that we are having in people's lives. And I recognize myself in this with my story, what happened. In terms of the claims, they differ country by country because of the governments, what they allow to be said. But this one is specific for Europe, and they've been released by the European Food Safety Authority. But even if we ignore the 18, we just on the top 3, normal brain function, normal heart function, normal function. That's what we are helping people with. And we do that with this offer. So we call it Health Protocol Premium. And it is the layers. I'm not going to go into detail into the products. But if we just go the basics, so we start with step 1, just looking into that cell, how functioning it is, if it's healthy, then with that 6:3 ratio. Then we look into our gut health and feeding the right microbiome. We are not consuming the probiotics. It is all about prebiotics, feeding the bacteria. Then we look into supporting the immune system in minerals and vitamins, because we know that the food nowadays then is in lack. And then the last step for those that need is all about our nervous system. So with Viva Plus, which we call it as being the spa of the mind. So it is fantastic. When we look into the 3, I normally call them the reset protocol of our body, like the reset control alt delete of our computer. So when it crashes, then we just reset it. And this is what we offer. When we look into then the impact, just a little bit more meat into those tests that you've seen, the nearly 1.6 million. These are the averages of the first test and second test in some countries. And look at the second test. We know already that the average of the first, okay, they are all bad, above the 3-to-1, but look what's just the consumption of 4 months, consecutive months of the balance oil, what it gives to people. Going back then to the 3-to-1 ratio. And that's what we need, because then from then onwards, then our system is different. So when we look into what we offer then to people that we love, trust, and know, and want to impact their health, have them here with better quality of life, this is it. It depends on the markets again, but the basic, the text and the oil, it's everywhere. Because that's the base. If we change that, change everything in our system. When we look into then what Zinzino has as brand ambassadors, they're not being paid by Zinzino to promote the brand. They actually want to consume it because, as you know, every single one of them, they have a battalion of doctors and nutritionists, and they are the healthiest, supposedly the healthiest people on earth. But they all failed on their first test, and they saw the difference of consuming the products. And then they decided people need to know about this. So they decided to become brand ambassadors. And that's why they are important, because then they show that everyone should be looking into this and start with that test. Because we know how important it is, that ratio. Science says that. And unfortunately, the results show that. But from now on, you now know something that majority of people don't know. And in a way, it can be said that it's a disservice not to share this. Because when you know that just by testing and starting, just give yourself 6 months, you can have a huge impact in your life. And you're not sharing that with the ones that you love, what do you think? So in a way, you can offer that solution and have the knowledge that, okay, you just open your door, and most people need this. You have then the product that has 95% efficiency, and what you have in your hands has 10 years ahead of everyone else. So when you look into, and that's why you're here, to know that there's a lot of interest now in Zinzino. There's a lot of, with the latest test, Zinzino kind of just put a stamp and everyone is looking at it, from health professionals to other companies, because it is disturbing the market of nutrition, because it is not just only a nutritional or a company to sell supplements, but is now a biotech company because of the vision that it has to sustainability in terms of how to deliver omega-3 to people. So it is the right time now to be looking at this, because it is making a difference. It is starting in every single, you saw 100 countries to be delivered. It is, and we haven't started or we haven't hit the 1% in most of the countries. And you know what that means when you want to establish a brand. You know that now is the peak. Now it's where you can make a difference and then reap the rewards after. And you saw the sales. It's not a question that, is this going to be successful? It's in the making. The question is if you want to be part of this journey, if you want to be part of this mission. So it is all about starting your business. And how do we do that? When we look in terms of the business model that we use, most of us are used to being an employee. So it gives us that safety, isn't it? I grew up with my mom telling me, you just get a job and it's safe for life. You just save money then, and you have that when you retire, then you can spend that money. So when I then in England decided to change jobs quite often, she was all worried with me, but it was me. I was just changing jobs. Can't learn more here. Let me change jobs. Then you have those people that are already thinking, okay, I want to have my own job, but then we still trade time for money, isn't it? So if we are not there in our business, then who is it? Is it going to be delivered the same way? So you're stuck there. And then you already have those people that, okay, you own a business and you employ people. So then, okay, so you have a little bit of leverage there, because others will do what you want to if you're not there. But then there's another one that you're investing. You have a leverage on your passive income. And that's what we're going to talk about here. The business model that we use, it's all about residual income, and it's all about leverage. And I'm going to show you how we do that. So in terms of the compensation that we have, then you can think about, okay, we can just think about helping people with their health, customers, so people that want to spend money to improve their health, or find people like us that already have an interest in having some extra, or are not happy with what they're doing. They want to have a purpose in life. They want to leave a legacy. So we build a team, we build a structure around us, and we support them. And through those two, we have 10 ways of earning money. And they unlock itself. It's very, very interesting, the compensation plan, which, by the way, if you go to our website, you can download it and look at it. It's all open. That's the fantastic bit of being working in partnership with a Scandinavian company. It's all out in the open. So if I show you how we do the customer career, so making customers, we can earn commissions from 10% to 30%. And monthly, we can have rewards from 100 euros to 200 euros to 400 euros, depends on the customers, which are, by the way, products. So one person can have 1, 2, 3, 4 products. And then we have that special number that we call the 25, which from that point onwards, we break the zero income. So it means that we start our month with money in our bank. On a normal job, we finish our month with money there if we work every single day. In here, you already start the month with money. So it's slightly different. That's the beauty of passive income. And for those ones that want and reach the 100 products, then you have that one-time bonus of 10,000 euros that then is paid out throughout 25 months. So on average, you have, when you're on 1,000 euros just in bonuses, nothing else. Isn't it? And even if you look at just having 25 customers, there's an extra income a year of 1,800 euros that you just help people with their health and you have that extra money. I think it's worth noticing because you're not selling some knives, you're not selling a microwave, you're supporting people with something that is crucial for their well-being. And when we look into then the partner career, for those ones of us that really want to have a business on the side, that started as, okay, will this work for me? And then suddenly you have money coming and that extra, you start as a part-time, never as a full-time, because it is truly about the other, helping the other person, not, okay, I need to make a sale, that importance of. But you can earn as much as you want. It's you that decides. It is your own business. And what I loved when I heard this was that I don't have any annual fees. I don't have any monthly fees. I don't have any, how do you say, deadlines to achieve. Oh, by the end of the month, I need to have this number of sales. Nothing like that. It's you that decide how much you want, by when you want, at the price that you want. And you have these averages. So what will make a difference to you? Just have an extra 900 euros at the end of the month, or 7,000 euros at the end of the month, 32,000 euros. Sometimes it's easy to start slow and thinking, okay, 900 euros are already a lot. And if you think about here in Portugal, that's already more than average minimum wage that you are. And here you don't work 40 hours a week to earn that. So how then we start? And you have several ways, but we truly recommend just this kit, the biggest kit that we have, because it comes with a refund campaign. You have other options, but the refund campaign comes only on this one. And it comes with tests. The test is the tool of the business, isn't it? It is what will tell people if they need it and whatever they're doing, it's working for them. And the beauty of this is that, remember that 25, that special number that I told you about, that you start having that money every month. When you get to the end of your first year with Zinzino and you have those 25 in your sales pocket, you get the money back of your kids. Have you heard of a company where you start a franchise, anything, and they tell you that, okay, do your sales, at the end of your first year, you get all that money back? It's unheard of. This is the company that it tells you, start your business, let's put the money on hold in Sweden, get all those products worth 3,400 euros, consume them throughout the year, help 20 people with 25 products, and you get that money back. That's how Zinzino works, because it truly, the ethic of the company is, if you're a customer, you pay for your products because you want to improve your health. If you're a partner, you join the business to make money, not to spend money. That's why they do the refund campaign. And this is the best seller. So when we look into then the step 2, what we have access to as well, they give us a monthly order, which then give us a possibility to have a balance oil every month, any type of balance oil. Every 4th month, then we receive a balance test, and we have access to an app to our phones that has up to 800 hours of audios for training, from self-development to products to leadership to the business. You have access to all of that. And it has a cost of 79 euros a month. But with a qualification of 4 products on your first month with the company, it becomes free. And you get it just paying for the shipping costs. And you can have all of this just for nothing, just paying the shipping costs. What we can do as a step 3 is get the 4 customer points. Like I said, it is for that qualification of that out order. It can be yourself becoming a customer, help friends and family, and get those 4 customer points. Already help people getting that. Does it seem that it's difficult if we want to share this information then with friends and family, co-workers? I don't think so, because when you know this, you can never forget. And we use just a very, very simple system to develop our business, which is 2 and 4. Just remember that. It will be very, very simple. And what they do and offer us in the beginning is a possibility of just have the feeling that we can make this happen for us as well. And they created then Fast Start, which has 120 days. I'll go through this very, very quick. So the first 30 days, they give us 30 days. We have, when we do the 4 products, we get 100 euros. Remember those 4 products that would be for the auto order? It's all the same. We don't have to do on top of it. It's all the same. So when you get the 100 euros, you have as well your Zinzino for free. That's that auto order. Look at that. So the next step is let's help people like us that want to start their business. And when you enroll too, that they see the benefit of having that big kit, but it can be a mix of other kits, you get 400 euros. So you help 2 starting the business, you have 400 euros. And now that's when it kicks the duplication. That's when it kicks at 2, 4. So we're going to help these 2 that just started their business doing exactly the same thing that you've done. We're going to help them achieve their first 4 products and going to help them enroll their first 2 partners. And when you help doing that, when you help this to be achieved, you receive 1,200 euros. And the A and B receives their 400. So it means that by you helping others, you are helped as well. And in the end, all of this, we're going to finish with more products. So we're going to go now to 10. So you don't have to recruit 10 more customers. You just need to top up on top of the 4 that you had. So you have a total then of 10. And with all of this, if we do it in 4 months, can be in 2 months, 1 month. We normally support our team to achieve it in their first month. 2,500 euros you have. Do you remember the price of the UPK, that big kit that has a refund campaign? It's 1,169. If you achieve that first, the bonus, look how much money you receive. So it pays for your initial kit, you still have money left, and then you receive the refund by the end of the first year. So this is just an idea. That's one possibility. These are here for us to achieve. Have to. They are there. That's the beauty of what I like about the company. So like I told you, I started 4.5 years ago. 2 of them were in the UK. And at the end of those 2 years, you could decide we don't need to stay here anymore because we loved England, but it was not because of the weather. Yeah. And then we took the decision then, okay, we can go back to a place that is warm. So we decided to come back to Portugal, not to our hometown because it was like England, but to the Algarve. So it gives us the flexibility, gives us the freedom. And that's not what we want, just to have freedom and decide where we want to do, how we want to do it. So ask yourself, why then joining Zinzino as a partner? Because what do we really want from life? Yeah, I made the decision that, okay, I just didn't want to be doing for the rest of my life what I was doing. I loved it, but was that what was making me happy? And what do I want to have? So how it is for our family, what do you want to leave them with? And in terms of what to do, yeah, I told you, I love traveling, love to go on holidays, but I couldn't do them at the time that I wanted and where I wanted to go. And then again, the person that you can become or that you want to become. What impact do you want to leave? How do you want to help the people around you? So in terms of what we can do in terms of this company, look at that. Have your checklist. If you're interested in partnering up, ask yourself, is the company that you're looking at, it is an established company? Zinzino is. Do they have products that have been proven to work? Zinzino has. Does it have proof of concept? Zinzino has, and it's not even for them. It's an independent lab that is doing that. Proven compensation plan. Look at the top earners of the company. You have that in Zinzino. And proof defeats the doubts. Yes, you have those tests that take any doubt out of the concept of the products that we have. So now the choice is yours. You can either become one of us and talk to people about this and share and have an impact in their lives and in yours, of your family, with the health and your finances, or become just a Zinzino customer and find out how your health can be changed by starting with that test. And let's do it together, because it is fantastic when you meet new people that have the same like-minded as you, that want to do something different and that actually makes an impact in others. So this is all I wanted to share. Hope that you've taken a lot from here today, that at least makes you question and ask the person that invited you here how has been their journey, meet others like us, and yeah, for me it has been life-changing, like I said in the beginning. Was I expecting this? Not really, but I was open to, and it has been amazing meeting fantastic people, the learning curve, the self-development, the stories, the text messages that we receive from people that gave themselves the 6 months and what they've achieved, and my personal story, the people that I've been impacting. Thank you very much for listening to me. If you need any more further support, please contact the person that invited you, and we might see each other in the future, hopefully. Otherwise, we are here every single Tuesday and every single Thursday. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you, thank you.